Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I want to talk about the third and final season of Ted Lasso. Honestly, Ted Lasso has been one of my favorite shows in recent times, one of my favorite comedies, and this third and final season was honestly the best way to go out. And honestly, I love what they did with it. I had some little issues, very minor issues, but what I loved about it was so much more than my issues with it. So I can't really say they are issues. First of all, let me talk about the characters in this show. The characters in this show are amazing characters. Characters that you love, characters that you just want to keep saying. One of the saddest things about the show ending is that I won't get to see more of these characters anymore. I love these characters so much. Is it Roy Kent? Is it Ted Lasso himself? Is it Danny Rojas? Rebecca also? Kelly Jones? Oh my god, all these characters are freaking amazing characters. And man, I just love seeing them this season. And the introduction of some new characters that we didn't see in previous seasons, made this season feel even larger. And there was something they did with this season. They made this season much longer than previous seasons. I think most episodes in this season were almost about 15 minutes long, and in previous seasons they were just about 30 or 40 minutes long. They just told a lot of story in this episode. I'm not complaining. I love that it was longer than usual, and just made me appreciate the show so much. And the fact that they even introduced some new characters that we've not seen before. Characters like Zava. That guy there is a very crazy character. There are other characters like that they introduced in this season 3 that made this season 3 so good. And man, I loved all the characters. Well, I won't say I loved all of them, but I enjoyed seeing all the new characters in this season. And man, they all brought their game and they did a fantastic job. There's something I realized lately. No matter how good characters are, no matter how much you like a character, or no matter how much you like a story, if the writing is not as good, if the writing for the story or for the characters aren't very compelling, the characters won't feel, or the story won't feel as good as it should feel. But the writing of this show is so good. The writing of the characters, the writing of the stories is so good that you just can't help but love everything that they are doing with it. There's something that I noticed in this season 3 that I wish they could have done a different way. But all the same, it's worked fine. And that was Nate's storyline. Remember Nate's storyline from season 2? Like at the end of season 2, it became like a villain type, character. And in season 3, I was expecting they were going to give us like a run of him being like the villain. But it just did it for only like a few episodes, and he went back. And I wish that they didn't rush Nate's story like that. I wish that they had focused the whole season on Nate being like on the bad side and just telling the story like that. Then maybe in season 4 they can now do Nate's redemption, and it would have felt so much better for me. I wish they had let Nate go into the bad side, sit with the viewers and let us stew in it, let us marinate in it before it goes back. So it might have had much more impact. But all the same, I loved what they did with the story. I just wish they didn't rush it as much as they did. There was something they did this season with the characters, with the character arcs, and man, it was just so fulfilling to watch. Just made me so happy to see the arcs of these characters. Like Rebecca that was all about getting back at her ex-husband. At the end of the show, she has made peace with herself, and she doesn't care about all that hostility or hatred anymore. She has become a more comfortable person with herself, and she's okay with herself, and I love that with her. Not just Rebecca, Jimmy Tat and Roy Kent. Look at how they started. They started as opposite, the greatest of rivals, and look at the way they ended the season. They ended the show. It's another thing that just filled my heart so much. Look at Beard also. Oh my god, the arcs of all these characters were just so amazing, and man, it was another thing that just made season 3 hit me so much harder. Honestly, I enjoyed season 3 of Ted Lasso so much. There are some callbacks to previous seasons. Those callbacks, when I saw them, I was like, yo, this, from this, oh. Like, it felt so good seeing all those things. I don't know, maybe they did all those callbacks for fan service, but it didn't feel like fan service because it actually had the callbacks had reasons why they were there, and it just made so much sense to me. And seeing all those callbacks just made me realize how much I love this show and how much I'll miss this show. I'm already missing this show already. Man, seeing all those callbacks and the character arcs and the comedy. I can't talk about Ted Lasso without talking about the comedy. Comedy is always so good. Always so good. I've said this so many times. The comedy in this show is fantastic. If you're a fan of comedy and you've not seen Ted Lasso, my guy, I swear to God, you need to check this show, because, man, you will laugh so much. You'll laugh, but it also deals with some serious topics. That's one of the reasons why I love this show so much. It is a comedy, but it also deals with some serious topics. Like, some topics that I did not think this show was going to deal with. And when they start talking about this topic, I was like, yo, this is some serious shit. Wow. And it just really nice. It really resonated with me, all the stuff they talked about, all the like the deep stuff they talked about. You think because it's a comedy about football coach, you think it's just be all comedy. But no, they talked about some really poignant subject matters, and man, they did it fantastically well, seriously. Honestly, this show is one of the shows I've enjoyed the most in recent times, and I'm sad that it has ended. At the same time, I love that they left us wanting more. There's something this show did for me. I can honestly say this show made me a better person. There's some lines of dialogues in this show that I just heard that just resonated with me so much. And once I heard those lines, it just changed my way of thinking, and it made me start living my life that kind of way. There's this particular line that Ted said in, I think it was in season 2. There was that particular line. He said, be curious, not judgmental. And when I heard that line, like, it was like a light went off in my head. And it just resonated with me so much. And since the time I heard that stuff, that's the way I've been living my life. I don't like just judging immediately. Know why people are doing things, know why people are acting the way they are acting before you pass any kind of judgment. You don't even have any right to judge anyone. We are all humans. Why should you judge? So be curious, not judgmental. That's one thing I learned. One thing that I've learned from Ted Lasso that stuck with me, and that I can really say has helped my life. And man, I'm glad for it. That's how good this show is. I love when you can watch. I love when I can watch a show and I can pick a thing or two that just really stays with me and I can use in my daily life. I mean, why do we watch films if you can't pick a thing or two from it? So that's one of the reasons why I love the lines and the dialogues in Ted Lasso so much. But that's just one line. There are so many lines like that, so many dialogues that just hit with me in particular. They hit with me and they just make me want to be a better person. And that's one thing that Ted Lasso does very well. This show does very well. I can't speak for other people, but for me, after I watched Ted Lasso, it made me want to be a better person. And if a show can have that effect on you, I mean, that is the mark of a great show. And Ted Lasso is an amazing show. So guys, have you seen Ted Lasso, all 3 seasons of Ted Lasso? What did you think about it? Comment below and let me know. If this is your first time on my channel, my guy, please subscribe to this channel for more contents like this. Thank you for sticking up to this time. See you in the next video. Cheers.